Hello everyone, this is Diana, and this is my Trailblazers of the Universe podcast. Some of you may know me from my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel, but I am expanding into the podcasting world now as well, and I'm pretty excited about it. This episode is going to be on my holistic guide to wellness. And when I talk about wellness, I'm not just talking about physical wellness, mental, I'm talking about a holistic guide to wellness. So that means your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual wellness. A little bit of background about me, why I'm even making this, is because I used to struggle with substance addiction to the point where that, along with my mental health, I had anxiety. I was diagnosed bipolar a long time ago, but it turns out that diagnosis wasn't accurate. So I had struggled a lot going through the medical system, trying to get different medications, right, to figure out what was wrong with me, with the mood swings, anxiety, depression, but also had a substance addiction, which didn't exactly, was something that should have been considered more with my diagnosis. So through years, I went through a lot of suffering, on and off medications, trying to do anything to feel better. I was a very functional person. I did have a good job and everything. I went to college, I was one of those people that was very functional, but I got really deep into substance addiction and almost didn't make it out alive. So where does the substance addiction root? Where is the root of I didn't feel good about myself. I always had anxiety, depression, my mood swings were over the place. I had toxic relationships, I had a lot of trauma, grief. Friends that passed away. I didn't know how to manage my emotions. I didn't know how to have healthy relationships. My parents had a lot of issues, and when it eventually ended up to my mother taking her own life, but that was later on. That was actually recent. I just wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with the life I was living. I just didn't feel like I fit into society. I felt alone. I didn't feel connected to the world around me. I could connect to anybody, I could get along with anybody, but on a deep level, I still felt very alone. And I felt this no matter how many relationships I got in, no matter how many substances I did, no matter what temporary feeling or escape I used to avoid my feelings, to not feel this way. Really, it didn't matter what it was. It was just, I was not happy with myself. So this led to me not only having a dark night of the soul, a life-threatening substance addiction, led to toxic relationships, just led to trouble in all areas of my life. Some of it I don't really want to discuss on here, but it got really dark, and basically the whole thing with the dark night of the soul was that everything had to crash in my life for me to awaken to who I truly was and really make changes. I had to go through so much suffering to the point of almost losing my life and just feeling horrible all the time, putting my body through it, my mind, my spirit, my emotions. I didn't have proper coping mechanisms for my emotions. I was miserable. I got to the point I lost the job. I lost job, lost relationship. My parents were about to kick me out. I was almost going to be homeless, actually. My mental health was destroyed. I feel like I had no soul. I was coming off different substances. And the one thing that kept me still going was I was still functional, right? Oh, I still could go to work. I still could do this. So I was good, right? But not so good. And my whole life just became disaster. I basically, the point where I had nowhere, I was pretty much at rock bottom. I could have gone lower, but how much lower do you want to go type of thing? And I was just completely broken, and I was willing to do anything to change, and that's what it took. So I went to a holistic rehab facility. It was more than just getting help for substances. It is a whole lifestyle change on an emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical level. So I learned a lot. My addiction wasn't just substance. It could be men. It could have been feelings, like anything that would give me a rush of feeling and make me not feel how I was feeling. It could literally be anything. Even say food sometimes too. So I found myself always giving my power away to these things in my life. Whether it's people, relationships, substances, right? And which leave me feeling empty inside. So going there, I was there for 4 months, and it was very intensive. You didn't just do intensive therapy. It was that you did that too. You had groups, you had lifestyle change, you changed the way you ate, you changed even doing meditation and stuff. I already was doing some meditation, but in the state I was in, I wasn't able to connect as much, as it didn't have as good of effect. The effects weren't as good because my mind was altered at the moment, but it did help. I started, was meditating and stuff. I was still spiritual, but I was so clouded by all my experiences and what I did to my brain, my body, my soul, that I had to do a lot more to get back to a stable state. So it took a long time, and it wasn't just what I learned in holistic rehab. I did a lot of work on my own as well. I started to feel intuitively drawn to do certain things. So this episode is just going to be about how I'm able to sit here today and talk to you, not addicted to substances, not on trying to experiment with a bunch of psychiatric medications, not in toxic relationships, not around toxic people, not feeling super wounded by my childhood and, how my parents were and stuff, their dysfunctional marriage and things like that, right? Not able to still transmute a lot of the trauma and grief I've had in my life and negative experiences and trials and tribulations. So I learned more when I went to this holistic rehab, but then I started to do my own. So I learned some things from there. And then, we even worked on things like anger and grief and things like that. We worked on, even acupuncture. They gave Reiki there. I didn't get it at the time. I think they had COVID at the time. They had different modalities, and then I started to explore my own as well. And and that's what got me into my YouTube channel and stuff too. I was in a spiritual group, and I saw a challenge, and I started to do that. And then I started to do a challenge to do content creation. So as I had nothing else to lose at the time, I just finished rehab, and I was looking. I felt a lot better mentally, and all areas. I was gone away for 4 months, away from all those toxic things I was doing, toxic lifestyle. I changed my lifestyle completely. Then it wasn't perfect at first when I got out, but then it got better. So I want to just explain kind of like my guide to wellness, how I improved myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally once I got out of this holistic facility. So what I learned is, remember, everything is connected, right? So your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual are all connected, right? You can't affect one without affecting the other. A lot of times when people try to heal themselves, they're only focusing on one of these aspects. Some people just go straight into spirituality, but then they ignore their emotions, their mindset, right? And all the programming they've had, right? And even the physical, the physical aspects of themselves. Some people just work straight on their mindset, right? They try to reprogram their subconscious mind, which is great. I'm not saying these things aren't good. Some people just literally just do physical things. They start working out, eating healthier and stuff. These things are all great, but to really heal yourself and to really become your best version, we want to improve all of these areas, not just one. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect person by any means, but if anyone knew me before and you saw the transformation that I made over this period of time, it's insane, because I continued, even after I got out of this facility, I started to do things in all these areas to improve my life. Because of that, I was able to do content creation. I was able to get back on my feet financially, to learn how to manage my finances better, to have healthy relationships, to have healthy friendships, set boundaries, to even do content creation, to improve my physical, mental, and emotional health naturally without any medication. That's a lot. If you saw where I'd come from, you wouldn't even believe me. So, let's see. And so what you change in one area, you change in all areas of your life, right? If all those are connected, right? We even say the physical, mental, emotional, all these planes, right, of existence, right? We exist in all these planes. Then you have the most profound transformation. So let's start with the physical. So first of all, I was detoxing from all these substances. So what I've done, so this is not just what I did there, but also what I continue to do to this day. And then some of it I did more when I got out. But if I continuously do these things, my life has really improved. So this is what I've done on the physical aspect of it. My physical healing. physical wellness, eating healthier. I'm not a vegan. I do eat like leaner meat and stuff usually. Sometimes I'll have some steak, but a lot of it superfoods, greens, less sugar, less carbs. I don't really do any fast food anymore. Substances, alcohol has it. I know, alcohol isn't. Some people think, alcohol isn't as bad as drugs or whatever, but it does have an effect on you, and it really does lower your vibration, lowers your inhibitions. So you don't have the energy, you get all burnt out, especially as we're getting older. So cutting these things out have really helped. Eating more alkaline foods. I eat some vegan foods. I'm not vegan, but I do eat some vegan foods. Superfoods are a big thing, like cold pressed green juice, things like that. I was even taking supplements. I had a whole list of supplements I was taking when I was there, like natural supplements to get my brain, like neurological supplements, like natural supplements for my brain and for my body to get. I don't want to give any medical advice on here, but I have a bunch of supplements that I took, a whole list, to help balance me, and it really helped get my brain back to normal, made me recover a lot quicker. But I would say exercise is very important. I even did kickboxing when I got out. I had a lot of anger, unresolved emotions. Emotions are energy in motion, right? They just want to be expressed. So me doing kickboxing got a lot of that anger out. And a lot of what I was trying to suppress with the substances, it was a good outlet for me. So any kind of exercise, really, nature is a big thing that I even do right now. Hiking, or even just going on nature walks, grounding myself, grounding my feet in the bare grass, like earthing. It's really helped me stabilize my nervous system. It's helped me with my anxiety. Just eating lighter in general, which I'm still working on to this day. I'd say the physical one is the one that's probably a little harder for me than the rest of them. So that's something that I'm still working on today. And I make sure I stay hydrated. So those are just the basic physical things. Even dance has helped me. I did this dance groove thing that this chick does. Chick teaches. And even that was good. It's helping me. Dance is a form of expression. It's helped me with trauma. And even laughing, as crazy as it sounds, laughing has actually helped me process a lot of trauma. I consider that transmuting trauma, actually. When you can laugh about things and just like your body feels good, it wants to release, it wants to express it. So any kind of movement in your body really helps. And all forms of self-care, of course, getting enough sleep. We underestimate sometimes what is needed to help heal us. A lot of it is just, it's very simple. Once you get those basic things down, right, you're eating healthier, you're sleeping well, you're staying hydrated. I even drink alkaline water, which I like, and more alkaline foods, and less of those carbs. I really rarely do fast food anymore. I just don't really like it. And you limit the substance. You do all that, you're already at a pretty good, stable, like basic thing. And you exercising more, you're pretty stable, on the physical self. So if you just continue to do that, and exercise doesn't always have to be something crazy. It doesn't always have to be an intense workout. I did kickboxing in the beginning because I was overcoming addiction and stuff. I needed a more of an outlet for my energy because I have a lot of energy. So any kind of movement helps. Walking around, like just anything, whether it's yoga, even Tai Chi has helped me, and Qigong has helped me. I think I'm saying that right. That's really helped me feel more balance in my energy. But grounding was a very important thing for me as someone that had bad anxiety, and as someone that didn't feel very grounded. And working more with my root chakra, I'll even say, when the lower chakras. But speaking of chakras, where I did I listened to frequencies to work on my root chakra, and it has really helped me. Okay, so next one, I'm going to go into the emotional healing. Now, emotional healing, a lot of it is just learning different skills to coping with my emotions, to help me cope with my emotions. We know emotions are energy in motion. They just want to be expressed. So how do we express emotions? Writing has helped. Content creation is probably one of the biggest things. Actually, starting that YouTube channel right after I got out of that holistic rehab, it really helped me express myself. And I was also helping other people too. So that's another thing. I was helping other people, expressing myself and connecting with others, that were on the same frequency. I wasn't making videos about all that stuff, about just whatever wanted to be expressed. Sometimes it was about spirituality. Sometimes it was about mental health. Sometimes inspirational videos. that was a real thing that really helped me process my emotions and really vocalize them. And it was like a release. All this stuff that's bounced around in my head, all these thoughts, they're finally coming out, you know. And that's the same thing with writing or even crying, feeling my emotions. A lot of it is just feeling the emotions. They just want to be, once you feel it to heal it, right? So once you start to feel your emotions, you can process them. You can feel it, and then release it. Allowing myself to cry when I need to. I used to always keep the crying in, right? And I'm going to say the kickboxing, that was the physical, but they're all connected, right? That helped me get my emotions out, anger out. I guess this also goes into the physical, but breath work was also, well, this, honestly, breath work hits all areas. Because, yes, it is a physical thing, but it really helps me when cope with my emotions, and even helps you connect more in the spiritual way, and helps in my mental health as well. So breath work is very important. I do Wim Hof breath work, actually. Different ways to deal with stress. And, exercise is still going to fall into this as well. Therapy helped me. Some therapists will help, but sometimes a therapist for me is just me venting. It's a form of expression, so I can express my emotions, so I can get help. I can get clarity on some of the struggles that I'm dealing with. So a lot of the emotional healing is just allowing your emotions, allowing them to come up, feeling them, and then letting them go, and then, releasing it however emotion, whatever way I need to. And that's been beneficial. When I was suppressing the emotions for so long, suppression is depression, right? So, and you're just suppressing emotions for years, what do you think is going to happen, So you're going to explode, or it's going to come out in a toxic way, or you're just going to try so hard to suppress it. But remember that what you resist persists. I would get Reiki done. I mean, that's going to go in the spiritual part as well. But all these things improve all areas. But Reiki did help me with a lot of emotional healing. But I'll talk more of that in the spiritual section. I would even listen to sometimes binaural beats that would help with processing emotions and trauma. Sometimes that's beneficial to me. I'm not saying it's for everybody. But that's just another thing that's helped me a lot. As far as my mental healing, a lot of it, what I needed to heal, I had limiting beliefs. So, everything that is impressed on our subconscious mind, all content that we're taking in, limiting beliefs from our parents, from our childhood, right, from school, from the media. These are all programmed into our subconscious mind, and we create our self-image through that, right? And also what others tell us, right? Even when others are projecting onto us, right? So it's important to reprogram our subconscious mind. I would listen to affirmations, even while I sleep. Dylan James is one of my favorite ones that really helped me. There's some night tracks you can listen to of affirmations, ones you trust, and make sure you read what they're saying and everything. But that was a good thing that really helped me, because it's going into your subconscious at night, straight to your subconscious when you sleep. And I would wake up feeling a lot better. But I did this for 30 days. And if I notice I start to slip, and I do this with my beliefs about my self-image, about love, about money, about just self-worth, everything. And that's really helped me. Hypnosis has really helped me too. I used to do different kinds of hypnosis. Anything to reprogram all the damage that I did. And, changing my assumptions and beliefs about myself. Writing affirmations, saying affirmations. Seeing things with new eyes from different perspectives. The binaural beats help with this too. Listen to different frequencies. So some of them were affirmations with binaural beats. Some of them were hypnosis with binaural beats. There's listen to even subliminals, things like that. And a lot of it is being mindful of the music you're listening to, because all that programming, you listen to the lyrics, you're saying you're programming that into your mind all the time, right? So that's another one. Change your mindset is also hanging around people that have a better mindset too, right? Everything is mental, right? I would read a lot of different books on a lot of different topics, even metaphysics, right? Quantum physics, spirituality, so many different types of things. I would like to expand my mind, expand my perspectives on things, or topics I was interested in, on healing, different things. So that really helped me as well. Basically, anything to stabilize my nervous system. Where I talked about some of the grounding I did, things like that. So that's another thing. And just be mindful of the content you are consuming. What you consume consumes you. I made a YouTube video on that, or it was a short on that. So be mindful of what I'm consuming with all my senses. Even the food you eat affects your mindset. That's why I said I have a lot of superfoods, and even those like superfood drinks and stuff. I think that even affects your mindset. Everything is frequency, right? So be mindful of the kind of shows you're watching. I already said music, the content anything you're consuming. Even on social media, the kind of pages you're following. All these things make a difference. I unfollowed people that were toxic for me. I unfriended people toxic for me. All this affects your mental state. So you replace it with more positive content, more uplifting content, more higher vibrational content, right? So on the spiritual aspect of my healing, it helps when you feel better physically. You feel like your channels are more clear, right? Even the mental and emotionally, especially. It's hard to connect to your spirituality sometimes, or your higher nature, when you have like these heavy, like toxic foods or substances in you, right, in your system. And then you have this heavy emotional trauma. And then even if your mindset is bad, right, you're not open to it. So once you work on those things, I think it's easier to connect with your higher self, your spirituality. But I'm not saying you can't connect with it if you don't do those things, but it's a lot cleaner, a lot easier, and you'll be more intuitively drawn to certain things too. You'll feel more of a connection to the divine and your intuition. It's not all clouded with all these things, right? So meditation, of course, has helped a lot with that. Different kinds of meditation, guided meditation. I did like shamanic drumming I listened to, which I still listen to now. Even binaural beats meditation. Sometimes meditation is just sitting, being present, learning to be present in whatever I'm doing, which also means, taking time away from the screens as well. So at sometimes. And Reiki has really helped. I was drawn to do Reiki. I was drawn to heal my chakras first. I kept coming across these chakra healing classes, joining groups and stuff like that. So I did work on my chakras, listen to certain frequencies, ate certain foods to help heal your chakras, do certain body movements, all those things. And then once I started to do that, then I was drawn to get Reiki sessions done to help balance my chakras. And I can't tell you, my life has changed as I've gotten Reiki done. I did study to be a Reiki level 1 practitioner. So I want to move forward with that. And I became more interested in crystal healing and even some channeling, expanding my spiritual gifts. I was always very intuitive, but once I did a lot of the things that I've discussed, I become more spiritually in tune. And a lot of my videos that I make on my channel, my YouTube channel, and ideas for all my content is, I believe, I've cleared the channel. I get the spiritual downloads, and I get the intuition, and I know what people need to hear, and I just feel connected to people around me. I'm always feeling more connected to the people, like in my environment. I feel like I met my soul family, and I really became aware of my gifts as an empath. I used to think there was something wrong because I felt everything. I tried to suppress it with substances, but it's actually a gift. So that's another thing. So then I even messed around with tarot cards. I really started to experience my spirituality and finding my own way to connect. What works for one person isn't what works for another. But I started to study different aspects of spirituality, and just doing what I'm guided to in the moment. Sometimes it could be something with Reiki. Sometimes it could be some kind of meditation or drumming or some kind of, I would do like the shamanic journey, stuff like that. I would go to a spiritual store, a metaphysical store, and I would just kind of explore there and just see what I'm naturally drawn to, because you'll be naturally drawn to certain things. Once you clear out your channels a little bit, you get a little bit healthier, even clearing out a lot of your trauma, and just healing a lot of that, doing a lot of emotional healing. It's so much easier to connect, and you'll feel very, you'll want to be more spiritual and connect to your higher nature, and you will start acting in alignment with more of your divine self as well. Okay. And I'm still discovering my spiritual gifts. I'm not 100%, but I'm experimenting with different things. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and I met a lot of people because I put that energy out, and I joined certain groups. I've met people, and I got like Akashic record reading done. And I've really explored that into past lives and different things, just wherever kind of the wind takes me. It's always changing. Even after I made this, after I post this video, it's always changing, So I think spirituality is finding your own way to connect with your divine self. And there are many ways. Some people even do it just through breath work. Some people are just being present. Some people do automatic writing. I've done that before too. So I'm always I've taken different classes. I've joined different groups where they're doing different like even telepathy exercises, things like that. Like I'm always I'm just kind of having fun with it. I'm not like putting too much pressure or too much expectation. I'm kind of just letting it flow, allowing the energy to flow through me and allowing the changes to come up in my life, and kind of just going with the flow, and where I'm always intuitively guided to do certain things, to meet certain people, to join certain groups, and I just kind of go with that. And so the only other thing I would say is also, another part of the healing is also finding hobbies, learning to be happy by myself. I was someone that always had to be in relationships all the time. When I learned to be happy with myself, I really started to heal too. And I focus more on myself. I prioritize myself. I put myself first, and I put the needs of others first. I still like to help others as an empath, but it was really prioritizing myself and doing all these things to heal myself and continue to do these things. It's not just something I do one time and you're healed. Healing is a never-ending journey. So we're always expanding. There's always a different level that needs to be healed. No one's ever completely healed, I don't believe. There's different levels to it, right? On all the levels. You could always heal more physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, right? A lot of it was setting boundaries too, with people. Saying no to others and yes to myself when needed. Letting go of toxic friends and people. Just having better habits. You have to think, how will the best version of me think, feel, and act? So kind of acting more in alignment with that and going towards my life purpose. I'm not saying content creation is my life purpose, but definitely helping people, and I do that through content creation, and I'm learning other ways to do that as well. And a lot of it just making different choices, and not just making a choice one time. I continue to make better choices in all these areas. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I never go backwards at all. But, even if I do mess up, it's not beating yourself up. It just keep going forward. You learn from your experiences and you just get up and keep going. You don't beat yourself up. It's loving and accepting yourself for everything you've done in your life or haven't done. And just continuing to move forward. Continue to make the next best choice. Continuing to heal yourself. As long as you continue to prioritize yourself and putting your best foot forward and, finding different ways to heal yourself. And what works for you one year or one day might not work for you another. Just what feels natural, and just living a more aligned life, more aligned to your life purpose, more aligned to your higher self. What kind of activities would you be engaging in? What kind of people would you be hanging out with as your best version, right? Your higher self version. What kind of choices would you be making? Just making more aligned choices in general. So I hope these helped you. That's just what has helped me. I could talk longer, but I kind of want to keep it at this length. That was just kind of an overview of things I have done to heal myself. My holistic guide to wellness, or Diana's holistic guide to wellness. So don't give up. It took me years to do all this. First of all was, getting rid of the substance addiction, working through that, because those were the things that were causing the most chaos in my life. And kind of a lot of it is just choosing peace over chaos, So I hope this helped you, and stay tuned for more episodes. I'll be making a variety of different episodes of content on this channel. I have a lot to talk about that can help you become your best version, help you heal yourself, and kind of giving you the guidance that maybe I wish I had earlier in my life. So make sure to give this podcast a follow if you resonate and if this helped you. Also, I have a YouTube channel, Trailblazers of the Universe. Feel free to subscribe to that. I make different videos on there as well, different content on there. I have a Facebook group called Trailblazers of the Universe. I'm on TikTok, Instagram as well. So, have a good day. And don't give up, and I wish you the best luck on your healing journey and becoming your best version. Namaste.